hardly ever make a vid when I'm driving, but I feel like talking about something. I gotta turn this a little bit. Yeah, that's the best I can do. Yeah. How long it's gonna take before I get this big thing? I'm just gonna keep it turned like this, so it can be facing me. Thank you, brethren. Brother phone. Anyway, so dark-skinned people don't like dark-skinned people. I'm sorry for all the shake and bake going on. Dark-skinned people don't like dark-skinned people. And the question is why? Now, this is not aimed at nobody in particular, but this was a growing theme for me. This was a growing theme for me. And because it is a constant problem, I decided, to talk about it, because if we really want to take a look into why dark-skinned people don't like dark-skinned people, a lot of it is biblical. A lot of it is tribal. A lot of it is biblical, a lot of it is tribal. As we all know, black people did not get here by the Santa Pinta and the Santa Maria, or the whatever they're called, and the good ship Jesus. Yes, there was a ship called the good ship Jesus. We did not get here by a bunch of colonial ships just showing up on the shore, and we just hopped into them. They didn't just come and take us over by the millions, and next thing you know, we're all going for a very terrible ride, which millions don't even make it to the shore. I don't know what that means right there. But I want to say this, that hello to whoever you are. And when you start looking in the Bible, you start seeing where a lot of the Jews came from. You'll read that there are a lot of black people who identify in different cultures because they came from different lands during the time of the Bible. Also during the time of the Bible, you also know that a lot of people were, let's see what you said. Salute, Tone. Yeah, what's going on? During the time of the Bible, listen, we were on this planet long before the Bible was written. Millions and millions and millions of years old. They found bones of Lucy that are they're just way old, people. So let's cut it out with we got here 3,000 years ago. We were here a long time before that. As a matter of fact, we were here before the land separated, when the land was a Pangea. Anyways, this is why you have the African elephant and the Indian elephant. This is why you have the Bengal tiger and the wherever else the tiger comes from. This way you have the same species on different parts of the continents, because at one time all the continents were one. Anyways, so black people, are in different continents, and some of them were even here. They were known as basically Indians. And as far as the Africans, or the land of Ham, there were, of course, tribes that went at it all the time, and then tribes sold other tribes in slavery. The Egyptians were they were tall, dark-skinned people. The people who came out of Mesopotamia were also, and Mesopotamia is in Asia. So this is where you get your Asiatic. You have your people who come out of Asia, and the Hebrew, the Jews, and so on and so forth. And somebody's going to come and correct me on this. I don't mind. Just don't argue with me. You can correct all you want to because I'm not a scholar, so I don't mind. But don't come in like, you were there. Okay? I don't want to hear that. You weren't there. You read something, and we all can go and read it. So just give references, and that's cool. But nonetheless, what I'm saying is, there were Africans who sold other Africans into slavery. That type of hatred didn't stop. You have, when I was growing up, there were people calling me blackie and dark and all this, and they looked just like me. And I never understood why they would do that. And of course, I caught a complex about it because everybody would go, oh, look at you, yada, yada, yada. Of course, until I hit my 20s. And then things changed. All that, oh, and the girls used to do turned into something else. Nonetheless, all my life, I still go through this dark-skinned, I don't want you just because of your color. And when I was young, I caught such a complex, I wanted to bleach my skin. And, that's no good. I never did it, but I thought about it because I wanted to be a white person or light-skinned. I wanted to be at least light-skinned because light-skinned people, they look better, they had it easier. Not all of them looked better, but there were some very good-looking light-skinned people, and they had it easy. And when I was a child, and even as I grew into an adult and during my adult years, I found the same thing. Light-skinned people just had it easy. I told you guys about the story where me and another African American, but he was light-skinned, was doing the same job, and these guys walked up to him and offered him a job. And did not offer me the job. They were interested in him. It was just like, yeah, we're offering him a job, but we're not offering you a job. And during the same type of work I was doing, which was marketing and promotion, the same thing happened. So it just let me know that my dark skin is very offensive. And even to some black people, my dark skin is offensive to them. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and go on the woe is me dark skin trip. But I find it just annoying that dark skinned people would do things like, they'll mess with you. They'll really mess with you. They'll mess with your woman. They'll mess with your job. My one neighbor is messing with my car all the time. He put another dent in it last night. And you just have this whole hatred that's built up in these dark-skinned people. And I know it comes from, the tribal days. It's almost to the point where you wish your tribe had a certain marking on their skin that they was born with. So, and it was like visible, a certain something on their face or a certain something somewhere where you can look at another person and be like, they're from the, straight up BS tribe. You know what I'm saying? And not to deal with them. It would just make life a whole lot easier. Like, this girl is from, the I'm black as you tribe, but I'm better than you tribe. You don't deal with her. Like, I'm not even going to deal with her because I know she's crazy. Because this is the tribe that, she comes from, and all the women think the same thing. They come from the same place you are. They're in the same economic bracket that you are. And nonetheless, they're on that nonsense as if they're doing better than you, and they're getting their butt kicked just like we're getting our butt kicked. We're all struggling together, but they still think that they're better than you are for no apparent reason. There's not one reason that they can point out that they're doing better than you. There's not one. And even if you ask them, all they'll do is give you lip. So, I mean, it just, another thing, it's easy to attack people who look like you. It just is. When you look at all of these shootings and all this craziness that's happening, and all this craziness that's happening, it's all black on black. It's all black people doing it to black people. It's at a fever pitch where you can't even go to the store anymore without worrying about having to knock somebody off the planet, literally. Like, goodbye. You can't go to the gas station no more without keeping your head on a swivel. There are people who I know that are getting taken for their stuff. I mean, they're just getting taken, and it's always somebody who looks like you. And, you know, if you got a good heart, you don't want to get into those mixes. Like, you don't wake up thinking, I'm going to go out here and there's going to be a dent in my car and I'm going to have to slap the dude who did it. But I woke up this morning, there's a dent in my car, and then the dude going to approach me talking about it was some female who's been putting dents in his car, so he wanted to apologize because he thought it was me. I'm like, you're going to put a dent in my car. Then you're going to come over to me and apologize to me for blaming me for something I didn't do, and then going to try to put the blame on some random chick. I said, dude, I know you've been doing it because I don't have no enemies. So there is a huge problem with black people, and I'm saying this to say, any of you who watch this, if you want to live like that, you're going to pay for it. And I don't feel sorry for you. As far as women not being attracted to me because I'm dark, there have been plenty of women who are attracted to me because I'm dark. But what I notice about those women is they only wanted to sleep with me. They didn't want to be with me. Listen, these women thought, this is their thinking, I'll sleep with you, but I don't want to be your woman. And one woman in particular, what this goofy chick did was we used to just screw around. And then one day I was like, I love you. I want to be with you. I should have never said that. That was the last thing she wanted to hear. Anyway, so after a tumultuous relationship with her, she jumps on a Greyhound bus and rolls out to New York. And there were other women on the bus, and they were like worried about her. They're like, what's wrong? She's like, I'm getting away from this guy because, he wants to do stuff to me, he wants to harm me, which I didn't. I just wanted to, know why you did the hurtful thing she did. She did something really, really hurtful. So she called herself escaping from me and told a bunch of people a lie, and so now they're all mad at me. They're still mad at me. I'm like, this woman lied to you. But nonetheless, so, they started asking about me. And it was just like, well, is he, what's he look like? And it was like, he's tall. It was like, how tall is he? He's like, he's 6'2". And he's like, what's he look like? Is he, is he fat? It's like, nah, he runs. So she's explaining the reason how I know this because she ended up telling me. She's like, nah, it's like, well, does he have a job? I'm just like, yeah, he works. And it's like, does he have a little wiener? And she was like, no, he's good. So they said, why are you leaving him? Like, they turned on her. Like, all these women who were listening to her, they all turned around and was just like, what did he do? Well, he loves me. And but they're like, let me get this straight. You're running away from a guy who loves you, and he's upset because you're leaving, and this guy had all of these amenities that women are looking for. Now, I'm no Prince Charming, but I'm an average guy. I'm above average height. There's a lot of guys out there that will not work. They don't want to work. I like to work. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to finding a mate, women are having problems finding men who are just willing to get out there and try to work and try to get a job. I've always been somebody who is willing to get out there and work. I like working. It's a very prideful thing for me to, go out there and make my own money. That's why I work for myself right now. And I have a degree. You know what I mean? And basically when they turned on her, she was like, why y'all turning on me? And then they said, well, give us his number. That's what these women said. Give me his number. They were like, give us his number. We'll call him. And she said no. And they couldn't understand. You're leaving a good dude. You're leaving a guy who wants to be with you. And he's not a bad guy. And you don't want to be with him, but you don't want nobody else to have him. You just want him to be miserable over you while you go off and screw other guys. And these women could not understand this. And by the way, she was a beautiful chocolate woman. And she still is. But I'm just saying, this is how dark-skinned women treat me. They want to sleep with me, but they don't want to be with me. They don't want to be seen with me. They don't want to do that. And I've had this all happen all the way up until recently, where these women do not want to be with me, but they want to, they want to sleep with you. They want your energy, but when it comes to being with you, like, this is my guy, they will not do it. So I'm just saying, it's weird out here. And black people don't like black people, like dark-skinned people don't like dark-skinned people. And it's just weird. I don't know. Is it just me? I don't know, but I don't want a white woman. I don't want an Asian woman. I don't want a Hispanic woman. And I've seen a lot of them. A lot of them are good looking. I ain't got nothing against them. But I would love to have a dark-skinned woman. But the one light to this is, I know some people have been traveling out of the country. And I'm not desperate for a woman. I just don't really care. But for you guys who are listening and you're going through this issue, if you got some money, go out of the country, because I know some guys who are going out of the country and they are getting some young 22, 23-year-olds who are like, yo, I'm all about you. They know that you're older and you're settled and you don't care about the bull crap. You're not running after nobody. You're not running after them. You will leave them in a heartbeat. You got your own money. You don't care about nobody's money. You're not flashy. You're just a regular dude out here, and you'll respect them as long as they respect you. These girls are waking up at a very young age, and they're like, you know what? What you got going on? I'm with you. Let's rock with you. So there is some hope. It's just that, sadly, it's not in in the American woman. The American woman has a lot of fight in her that is just tilted towards you, and you're like, why are you fighting me? What did I wake up and do? I've been laying here all night with you, and you wake up looking at me and you want to fight. I've had a woman do that. So sadly, we got to buy a plane ticket and go to other countries to find what we want, guys, or get into another nationality. That's a damn shame. But yeah, black people don't like black people. It's a crying shame, but it's true. And some of you, and listen, I'm not just talking about women, I'm talking about men too. So for some of you, look at this and go, he don't know what he's talking about it. You're probably one of them. It's just out here bad. You guys take it easy. I'm going to lift weights. Peace.